Are we live?
We are live.
We are live here on many, many stations across the world. New Realities, Portal to Ascension, Joan of Angels, and with the lovely Caroline Cory, who's probably one of the most prolific filmmakers about this bizarre phenomenon, the UFO mystery. And Caroline's at it again with another film. But before we get that, I want to say all of us are going to be at the San Diego Portal to Ascension Conference, April 21st to 23rd, ascensionconference.com. Caroline is one of the keynote speakers. Neil, anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, I'm just going to share the screen for the conference really quick. If you can do it, Joan. And yeah, we only have 4 weeks left, everybody. I'm really excited. Not only is this, a return of live events, it's going to be huge in a beautiful area, but we've hand-selected, if you will, some of the most profound speakers and presenters that are really doing some huge shifts on the planet. So I'm really excited to have Caroline there. Worked with Caroline for a few years, had on many events, and just the level of awareness that keeps unfolding. The multiple facets and dimensionality of Caroline's work and the documentaries that she's created truly are, I feel, some of the most profound documentaries in assisting the collective to shift their consciousness. Especially her last documentary, A Terror in the Sky, which is really next level. And it brings in all these individuals that are in the mainstream that have been silent about these topics for so long. And it's so important for us to really not just preach to the choir, but to get out there to the masses. And I think that's a portion of what Caroline does. So I'm excited to have her here, and we'll bring Caroline on in a second. Are we screen sharing right now?
Yeah, we're screen sharing.
So here's the conference website, and it's ascensionconference.com. So you can go ahead and check it out. And with Portal to Ascension, there's even though we talk about many themes, like hundreds of themes, the three main topics that this event really encompasses are the ancient history of humanity, the true history of humanity, unfolding the fragmented parts of our timeline and piecing together the antiquity of humanity, the advancements that we've gone through. Then, of course, the ET and UFO phenomena and reality, right? And the ultimate intention for the whole conference, which is the evolution of consciousness. So through all these different aspects, all these different pieces of information and education, we're funneling everybody into a realization that humanity is much more powerful than we've been told. We have the ability to reclaim our sovereignty. We can change this world and create harmony on Earth. And this event is a celebration and an education for all of that. So hope to see some of you guys there. AscensionConference.com. Joan, do you want to say a couple of words?
I'm excited to be there, guys. I think that we have collected and curated. We want to stop. Okay. We're working together for the first time on this platform, guys. So we're just excited to bring together, first of all, after all these years of not being together, we have been finding that the excitement about collective humanity coming back together and just talking with people raises this whole field of consciousness. So, Carolyn, we are just excited to have you. But, right, Alan, this is going to be very exciting for all of us to come together.
Well, yeah, people like Caroline Cory, Linda Moulton Howe, Adam Apollo, JJ and Desiree Hurtak, Robert Grant. These are cutting edge people. These are people taking us to the next paradigm. And Caroline, in particular, did what no one had done before, which was her team videotaped an actual portal that opened in the sky that allowed interdimensional craft to come through. Caroline, how are you gonna show that up in your next film? How are you gonna go beyond that?
Right.
Yeah. First of all, you guys, thanks so much for having me. This is awesome. Alan, we've known each other for so long. Neil, we've done so many shows together. And Joan, I appreciate you having me. And so that's part of the live conference experience. We can do a lot of things online, but when we come together in person, it's that energy, it feels like our purpose is merging together. So yeah, I really encourage a lot of people to show up in person for this important event. And yeah, thanks for mentioning all these things. I try to go to the next level in my films. There's so many movies out there on UFOs and this and that, but I try to focus on the solution and take things to the next level. So yes, for those who have not seen A Tear in the Sky, you need to watch this right now, because we did discover scientifically an opening and closing in the sky that to date no scientist can figure out or give us any sort of logical explanation. So for now, it is some sort of portal recorded on our camera, and you can see and hear all the details in the movie. But then you're saying, how can I top that? Well, in the movie that is coming out called Among Us, this is a movie that I've done a couple of years ago, but it wasn't really released. It was released just briefly, and now it is being released everywhere. So I highly encourage people to watch that one, because that brings it back to the personal level, meaning, wait, who am I in relation to the extraterrestrial phenomenon? What is my lineage? Where do I come from? Why do I connect with the Palladian consciousness versus an Arcturian consciousness? How does all this work? So all this interaction and communication with extraterrestrial is in this new film Among Us. If you want to show the trailer, for people to have an idea, that'll be great.
Yeah, we'll show the trailer, but also, are you going to be talking about this at the conference, this kind of level of reality?
Yeah, for sure. So basically, the connection between our human aspect and our extraterrestrial connection, whether we are downloading information or we are bringing through a lineage or whatever that may be, how does it work? How are we connected? So I'm going to talk about the scientific evidence of our connection. So it's not just, of course, we know about entanglement, but I have more specific details about how this interaction actually works.
Wow. Let's show the trailer.
So I want to ask a question first. Caroline, did you have like a trajectory of the type of documentaries you were going to release from the beginning? Because it seems almost like that they're the necessary next step every single time.
Not really. It was more like, what feels right at the time. So now I'm working in pre-production on the next one, which seems to be a combination of superhuman and Tear in the Sky. So it's like, you know what I mean? It keeps building. Of course, I have a vision of the overall and timeline of the overall message and purpose and information that needs to be dispelled. But how I dispel it and also the timing of each one gets revealed every time.
I have a question. Do you feel like you're being guided, like you're being led by the extraterrestrials themselves into how you present this?
Oh, 1,000%. Since I was a kid, like there's no way. In fact, now it's a conscious thing. Like it's my intention every day, show me or bring to my consciousness and my physical reality in terms of resources, exchanges, information, people, resources, only that which is aligned with what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not interested in distraction. I'm not interested in, so it's very much conscious and purposeful, everything that I express.
This is disclosure. They are disclosing through you exactly the steps. So this makes even what you're presenting at our conference even more valuable.
Right.
And I'll tell you one thing I love about your films, Carolyn. You have so much enthusiasm that's captured. I mean, it is the feminine, it's your intuitive approach and it's the feminine. And I love, everyone should go and watch these films. They're fantastic, and come and see you there.
Right. And before we play the video right now, I would love for you just to list off all your documentaries really quick, because honestly, every one of your documentaries are the best in the class of that actual documentary. You know, like the superhumans, the amount of like the graphics you have in there, the visuals you have in there, the information you have in there, the approaches you take, they're all just really beautiful. So whoever's tuning in that wants to put them on the playlist, you know, go ahead and tell them what you have.
Yeah, I think the three main one, and they're all evergreen, you know, it's like the topic is forever relevant. And people who have watched it once watch it again and they say, oh my God, I learned more stuff or I saw more things. And so this is the type of documentary because the consciousness behind it is multidimensional and unfolding. So I would say the first one to watch is Superhuman, the Invisible Made Visible. That's available again everywhere, Amazon. People can go to superhumanfilm.com for that one. A Tear in the Sky, the Wormhole Discovery, first ever scientific expedition, not studying footage, expedition conducted with real scientists and experts. aterrainthesky.com, and also Among Us, which brings it more to the personal connection to who we really are, how we are related to our cosmic friends, how the interaction actually works, the downloads, the DNA upgrades, all of that, even crop circles. There's also, I talk about hybridization and things like that. So all of this is in this new movie, newly released movie, Among Us, and the website is amongus.movie.com.
What was that the first? What was the first movie you did that was before Superhuman?
Yeah, so ET Contact and Among Us were the same raw footage. And so, yeah, so what happened was I released one version of it temporarily. It was kind of a distribution issue, you know, like problems like that. And then it was a short release, and now it's kind of, yeah.
All right, let's see what it shows us.
Okay, great. Sound.
There's quite a few extraterrestrials wandering around, the humanoid ones. So we've got them walking amongst us.
They weren't human at all. These were extraterrestrials standing there examining me in the room.
I thought they were very elegant, about 7 feet tall.
They live aboard their spacecraft, which is sort of in Earth's atmosphere.
They would bring me to the planet and introduce me to other kids my age, and we would play together.
And I asked him if I could hold his hand. I wanted to know what it felt like to touch them. And I wanted to know it was real.
So what you do is you take the experiences that people talk about and you operationalize it.
How is this even possible that higher dimensional energies can be downloaded or brought down into our ordinary 4 dimensions of space-time reality?
The quantum wave, which is the description of all nature, instantaneously propagated the consciousness of the Houston handler to the moon.
This is not an American phenomenon. This is not a Western phenomenon. This is a global phenomenon.
There's not only thousands, there's potentially millions of people out there that are living this double life.
They will lead us into telepathic abilities. They will lead us into abilities to heal ourselves, to literally change our body.
DNA treatment number 2. What's interesting is the actual number, the magnitude of the changes that I've been seeing in the past when energy treats the DNA. This is a robust, strong effect.
There are layers of codes. There's thousands of codes layered on top of each other. You touch one part, it touches 10 other parts.
All of this information is actually following lines. It comes through this multidimensional grid system. This means interdimensional information is going to happen instantly in locations like these.
Human DNA in our body can exist as a tool to bring in higher dimensional energies into our physical body, convert them into electromagnetic fields, which then the body can use to regulate physiological and biochemical processes associated with healing.
I believe this is the theory of everything.
Oh my God. I'm blown away by that, Carolyn. We're going to watch it this week.
Awesome.
That's fantastic. So, Caroline, you're taking people to the next level as far as awakening their minds, like whether they've ever heard about ETs or suspected. You're putting new possibilities into their consciousness. And of course, you want to talk about how you want this film to affect people in other ways too?
Yeah, I mean, already the people who have seen it, they send me messages, on social media and emails, and they say exactly what I was hoping they would say, is that it awakens a remembrance. They watch this and they remember, beings that they saw when they were kids. They remember themselves having come in contact with a being. It awakens the memory of their own, who they really are, their own experience. So that's what I'm hoping this film will do. Like I said, it brings it back to the individual. Also, it talks a lot about telepathy and downloads. And, a lot of people talk about that. All of a sudden they start downloading some Palladian entity. How does that work? How is that possible? So we talk about that in the film as well. And, it's easy for me to talk about these types of things in conferences because it happened to me since I was a child, with coming in contact with my own lineage. See, it's not a coincidence that you come in contact with a Palladian or a Gray or whatever. It's very relevant to who you are, to your purpose, and what you're supposed to be doing with this information. So the more conscious you are, the more it's going to bring to you that validation, and also remind you of the next steps of what you have come to do. So this is not just a curiosity thing. This is about real transformation, real self-realization, for you to really awaken to where you have come from, what you have come to do.
Would you say that talking to the audience in San Diego, you transmit, there's a transmission there? Is that something we could say?
Yeah, that's another thing, is that the more you do this work, you become aware of your own energy. And so, for example, now I speak, from my human mind, I'm speaking human language. But, when you do enough of this work, you're conscious of who you are, your larger consciousness, and that starts to come through. And that's how people who are just open to receiving, they will not just hear the information intellectually, but they will feel the energy of the higher consciousness, which is connected to the universe and source. And so it's the energy behind what I'm saying that will trigger this awakening, you see.
And I have a feeling we're doing this conference so that this can be brought through all of us.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're calling in that tribe of gathering of people who've been together, who need to hear this to do their work. So just hearing where you come from, the consciousness you already have here, really makes me realize we're putting out a call to all of us who are connected with these extraterrestrials, with these presences, with disclosure itself, a really high call for this.
I think that we're doing live conferences. Neil, maybe you want to jump in and say the effect of live conference. I mean, this is great. We're seeing you, Karen. We're hearing you, but it's not like actually being in the same place, right?
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, you feel the energy differently. I'm very happy. Sometimes people email me and text me and say, when you do an online thing, oh my God, this was amazing meditation, da, da, da. but in person, it's tenfold, 100-fold, you know, because you're literally in the energy that's coming through. So that's why this is so important. And when several of us come to the one location, this is where everything gets amplified, and each person is bringing their own signature, their own energy. So think about like whatever you may be looking for, you will find, you know, because everybody brings that information in their own way.
Yes. I love your work because it really makes it more palatable for people, you know, and it also brings in the consciousness. It brings in the linearity and the secular nature at the same time, you know, like both left and right brain. And for a lot of people that aren't in this awareness already, we're in this world of linearity and analytical mindset that really to bring these people over to the heart, just like myself, I was like super into math and science, appeasing the linear mind by proving to them through this like, you know, this series of evidence that is coming out really will help them understand what's going on. So I feel that's what you do a lot with most of your, well, all your documentaries really, right? Would you say?
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like we keep hearing, you know, we're connected, we're interconnected, your mind creates and all of that. So it's one thing to say and talk about this thing, and a whole different thing to show, to validate and show scientifically how it is done. It's not woo-woo stuff. Look at the evidence. So how do you do that? You bring live scientific experiments for the people to see for themselves, that when you say your mind is going to change the pH of water or change your body, you know, we hear that. That's very nice. But when you see it on camera, that just through your intention under scientific methods, your mind is literally moving the needle up, you know, for the pH of water or the DNA sample or whatever, or moving an object, you know, again, under scientific methods, not just random, like, hey, this is a coincidence, you know, then you're it brings validation, like all of these concepts out there. So that's why I feel like I go to the next level of validating all of these concepts through the films.
Yeah, you're making a bridge between the science and the meta science or the metaphysics that apply to physics. So Priscilla asked a question that probably doesn't apply to you, but she asked, have you ever lost family or friends due to the gift that you have been blessed with because they didn't believe you? Well, I don't have friends with that, but
family or friends.
I don't have those kind of friends, but what about you?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, yeah, like what you just said, sometimes they just stop interacting, but it's kind of a natural thing. So I don't know if I would call it loss. I feel like as you focus more on your purpose and your message and who you are, what you're here to do, I think in a normal, natural way, those who are not aligned will gradually kind of gravitate towards something else. But a lot of those who are will come even closer to you, even family members, even friends. So, you know, I wouldn't worry or focus on loss. I would say, wow, this is who I am. And I'm attracting exactly what resonates with me to amplify, to enhance my message. That's what how I would look at it.
And we gain a new family because
exactly
Portal to Ascension, the way I feel when I'm on all these conferences, we have an extended family around the world. And when people come together, they feel really supported. And what the heck is a portal? You know, we are actually all together going through a portal to this new state. So we can support each other. Yes, we may lose lower friends and family that are at a lower frequency, but we still have a mission of our own to keep moving higher, I think.
And also, I think there's a problem with programming. We are programmed to think that, because you're born in a specific family, that you have to kind of be close or whatever, with the father, the mother, or the siblings, no matter what, even though there is no connection and there is no, alignment or resonance whatsoever. But then the guilt and the confusion and the programming kicks in. But perhaps we chose this family that is so different than us, to allow us to discern, like, wow, this person, let's say very religious or very whatever, without judging, it's just not who I am. So I have to choose to either be and discover who I am, or just keep kind of tugging, keep like trying to convince or trying to ask for approval. You know what I mean? Keep that because of the programming that, hey, you're supposed to, because it's a family member or this or that.
And you bring your vibration down. That's what's great.
Exactly.
That's what will be happening. A great thing that will be happening in San Diego is that we'll be there with your new family, folks. You'll be there with people at a frequency where they understand you. If you're the only one in your family and they don't know what you're talking about, join us in San Diego so you can be with people to understand your level of thinking, because these are cutting edge people right here.
Yeah, exactly. And if they do know what you're talking about, bring them along with you.
Can you imagine your family with Joan of Angels? That was a step or a stretch in the right direction.
So
we have another question for you, Carolyn. I'm very interested to know if the remote viewing meditation activities get more easy or some form of benefit when done on delay lines. So can you ask we don't call them, I don't call them aliens. Can you ask our star family that?
Yeah. So I talk a lot about Alan. We did a few talks about the planetary grid. And so even on my YouTube channel, you can go to my YouTube channel and look at the video about the planetary grid. The planetary grid explains more than just the ley lines. It explains how your geographical location on the Earth is within a network of wormholes, basically, network of mini black holes. And so it's above you, below you, there's more description in my courses. So the point being, when you are in a geographical area that has a specific connection, that you're like right under or close enough to one of these wormholes that allow communication, then of course you're going to have much easier things flowing to you. So yes, this has a lot to do with it. However, as you train yourself, you can be anywhere, and that's the idea. Your brain is capable. So for example, I can now, wherever I am, tap into a specific point above the North Pole. I'm not going to go live there to be over the ley line, you know what I mean, to be able to do that. So, but you have to train your brain. And that's the work that I do, is basically reprogram, reconfigure your brain structure to become coherent with space-time itself, which is this network of information beyond the ley lines. The ley lines are on the ground, so it's very linear. And I'm talking about a multidimensional above you, below you, in all directions.
I hope you talk about that in San Diego a little bit, because when people, I got a lot of great comments when you talked about the link between the brain, the grid, lifting the old matrix off, and maybe you should do a movie about that. I don't know, but it's very exciting.
Well, actually, I will talk about that in the conference. That's the first thing. And this animation, I just realized, is in the new movie Among Us. And it talks about the connection between the brain. So everybody should watch this movie, Among Us. So you can go to amongusmovie.com and look at, all the different ways to watch it. And you will see the animation of this planetary grid and how the brain is actually geometrically aligned. Yeah, for sure.
You know, I mean, you can jump in, Neil, but I just want to go back to that question about family and friends and losing them. Because in this book, you actually, in your essay, your comment, you actually say it was your family arguing at Christmas that let you see these other levels of reality. You want to talk about that briefly? It's a great story.
Yeah. When I was younger, I was 5 years old. And I remember it was Christmas because my human family, they were like, doing stuff like Christmas tree and gifts and I don't know, dinners or whatever. And I was looking at them and they were like arguing. They're, you forgot this, or where did you put this? Or, all. So that's when I could feel the energy of my human family at a very young age. And I started feeling like, oh my God, like humans, they don't know how to love each other because they keep, I'm 5 years old. So, and so because they're like yelling at each other. And isn't it today the day about love? So I was like thinking this way as I was observing them behave. And it's exactly at that moment that I had this huge apparition, so to speak, these groups of beings that showed up. And it was such a magnificent energy. It was like, oh my God, it was like pure, unconditional love. And I just merged with this energy and I was like, this is how it's supposed to feel. Not like that, not like what's happening, around the Christmas tree or whatever. It's that is love. And so because of the contrast between the two, I kind of gravitated towards, I stayed in that energy and I understood it more, what that is about, where it came from, who I was, and the whole story. People should read your books and my stories, and also I talk about it on my YouTube channel many times in podcasts. Yeah.
That's great. You're muted, Joan. Unmute, because I love your line when you say, when they're arguing, you say, what does this have to do about love or Christmas? You say that's so.
Yeah.
Joan?
Yeah, and as a 5-year-old, it's interesting because, I mean, I don't know about other 5 years old, but it was such a kind of revelation, like, wow, like the bickering and stuff. And then it didn't make sense with the purpose of the gifts. And it's like this holy thing around it. So it was interesting. So, and the contrast was so massive between real unconditional love and human love.
Yeah. We've all noticed, by the way, and that's part of all of our wake up, which is when we start to notice that there's such a discrepancy. And that's part of moving into the higher consciousness. So kudos, that it happened so young to you. And for you. And I'm thinking that everyone coming to the conference now, I want everyone to realize it's not just us in our human form going. We actually have our guides, our star family, our angels coming with us. So we are really, right, galactically. It's
a galactic reunion.
It's a galactic reunion. I bet my angelic team wants to talk to yours.
Definitely. That's 100%. Like I know that I'm always connected to my spirit family, and so are you. So of course.
That's why I'm so happy you're going to be there, Caroline. You're a big force in our movement, in our community. So, Neil, anything else you want to say about Caroline at San Diego and her?
I'll say that the general theme is really bridging the worlds, right? It's this awareness is for everybody. And this, which is why I love going into ancient history a lot, because that's a really great avenue to get to the masses. And then when you start showing that, whoa, there were advanced civilizations in the past, and we have an arrogance thinking that we're the most advanced that we've ever been. And then why did they have that advancement? Well, it was tapped into some level of consciousness, some higher understanding, some connection to star beings, information about coming from the stars, right? So this event just to speak a little bit more on live gatherings, it's not just on a webinar listening to information and some education. It's actually an experience. We're going to have an experience together for 3 days. We're going to breathe together. We're going to have breath work. We're going to have music. We're going to have a beautiful tapestry of art everywhere, including the experiences there. And the way we've shifted our conferences starting this year is that it's a ceremony. You're going to come in, we're going to have a Kopal saging experience just going in through the door when you first start. The beginning opening ceremony is going to literally open up the ceremony for 3 days. And it's all about not just providing this information, but it's being intentional. We have this time together, these 3 days together. There's going to be a few hundred of us there. How can we be intentional with every moment and every experience that we have in order for us to amplify that energy and create a collective shift on the planet? So it's going to be amazing. The dates, again, everybody, is April 21st to 23rd, which is in about 4 weeks from now. And you can check it all out at ascensionconference.com. And if you aren't able to attend in person, you can get the virtual pass. The virtual pass, though, is not live streamed because we don't have internet there. So that's all the replays. So we'll give you that content plus bonus footage and all that. But check it all out at ascensionconference.com.
Love it. Carolyn, we're so happy to see you. So you want to play that?
Carolyn, I just want to say you look so bright and shiny. I can't wait to see you in person as well.
Yeah, same here. Thank you so much for having me. So I'll see you very, very soon, like in 3 weeks, right?
See you in a few
weeks. You got me really excited about your presentation, your presence there, what you're going to say. I feel already tapped in and connected inside that portal.
Yes.
Awesome.
Just one last comment, and compliment. Your beautiful energy and what you create is just so profound and so needed on the planet right now. We just have so much appreciation for all that you're doing and all that you are. We see you and appreciate you and love you. So thank you for being you.
Thanks so much for saying that. I appreciate it.
Take
care, guys.
All right. Bye. Now, I think, Alan, we're going to play a little trailer so everyone gets to see what's actually going to happen. What do you think?
Okay. Perfect. And then they could sign up right away. So come to meet us all.
Okay.
Linda Moulton Howe, Robert Kent, Adam Apollo, Carolyn Cory. Go for it.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go.
3 years of having to produce the Portal to Ascension Conference online. We have been waiting for this moment. The Portal to Ascension Conference is returning live and in person. Join us at the Marina Village in San Diego, California, April 21st to 23rd, 2023. As massive shifts are happening on the planet and hidden truths are being uncovered, we are piecing together the fragmented parts of our existence and timeline. At Portal to Ascension, we are dedicated to full circle awareness of the truth of who we are and remembrance of our connection to the cosmos. This is showtime. There is no holding back. Now is the time for us to harmonize the frequencies and create unity and peace on Earth. We are deprogramming from an outdated matrix system, re-educating and remembering an inherent truth that connects us all. As we come together, we activate our truest potentials, individual gifts, and collective resolve. We are ushering a whole new reality that we know is possible and is waiting for us to embrace it. Join founder Neil Gore and the entire Portal to Ascension team with hosts Alan Steinfeld, Michelle Anderson, and Joan of Angels over these 3 days, April 21st to 23rd, 2023. We will experience musical performances by Larissa Stowe and the Shakti Tribe, Vox Angeles, Share the Light, Admiral Apollo, and Torquemji. This conference features incredible Adam Apollo, Carolyn Cory, Robert Schock, Linda Moulton Howe, Robert Edward Grant, Barbara Lamb, and many more. Register now at ascensionconference.com. It is time for humanity to awaken. There it is, everybody.
Oh my God.
Let's close this out so it doesn't start up something else. So we'll see all of you guys there, I guess, right? In San Diego. So
I'm really excited.
It's at the Marina Village. It's near SeaWorld, overlooking the ocean. It's a beautiful area. It's going to be lots of fun. And since we have you on here right now with us, I thought I might as well make a couple of more announcements and, use this time together to do that. First of all, some of you don't know that the new site we even have a new site that's being launched. Some of you have heard this many, many times over the last couple of years. But we have our new website being launched April 8th. A megalithic, amazing website with so much love and intention put into it for the last year and a half, if not a little more. And we're going to have 1,000+ more hours of content on there. Really great way to stream content. We have apps being made for all the major streaming platforms. And we're going to actually make everything on our website, all 10,000 hours of content, 100% free for the first 72 hours. You know, normally it's like 3,000 hours of content, but it'll be like all 10,000 hours, just like a lot of awareness, just ready for you guys to go to the website, give us some feedback, what you're experiencing. Is there anything that we need to shift? So it's completely just open to just kind of do a celebration, because it really is a huge milestone in the level of production, the level of the field that we're playing, if you will, in the world, on the world scheme for consciousness events and gatherings. We're really taking up the business Portal to Ascension to a whole new level with productions, documentaries, and so much more. So we're going to give that to you guys as a gift for those 3 days. We'd love for you to get feedback on that. And we have other events coming up. We're doing Glastonbury in August. We're going to Egypt in September. We're going to be in Vegas for a huge event in November. We're doing the Crystal Skulls event in November as well. So you can go to portaltoascension.org. That's portaltoascension.org, and check everything out there under online events, and just wait about a week or so for the new website. And over to Joan. I know you have some things you probably want to say
I'm
about
so
all that,
excited. I'm just really excited. 10,000 hours as compared to 3,000 hours. That's a $7,000 video hours. Oh my God, so confusing. Guys, I'm really excited to just kind of get together with all of you. I'm doing a lot of work with Portal to Ascension now. I'm the executive producer.
Oh, this is the announcement.
This is the announcement.
Okay. We got to do a better announcement. Okay.
All right.
So this is an exclusive premiered announcement right now. So Joan, you know, I've known Joan since 2012. I met her a few months before our first live event, right, in Cosmic Reunion 2012. And then we've been best friends for like 7-8 years. And she started working with Portal Ascension maybe 2 to 3 years ago, but a year and a half ago or so, plus or minus, she became like an actual like part of all of our productions, right? And working together constantly, consistently, frequently, all the time. And her title was Director of Productions, okay? Because she's been directing productions, like communicating with speakers and all that stuff. And now, just a couple of days ago, because of the level of involvement Joan has, her production abilities skyrocketing, and her insight is extremely valuable to Portal to Ascension. Really couldn't be such a world-class experience if it wasn't for Joan. You know, Joan, myself, and Alan really complement each other, I feel, when it comes to this stuff. And so all of that to say this. Now...
We didn't script
Jones,
this, guys.
No, I just came up with this right now. I got a teleprompter right here. Joan's new title that is fitting for what she's doing, and she has now had a promotion at Portal to Ascension. And the promotion is executive producer. She's no longer the director of productions, but she's an executive producer because she's making executive decisions in the productions of all things Portal to Ascension. So let's just all give her a round of applause right now. Okay. Standing ovation.
And okay, that's so cute. I love working with Neil because we have a destiny. Just so you know, one day we'll really share that out in a separate video of this whole unfolding of this destiny.
We're gonna have a video with the team. We'll bring all the team and let you guys meet everyone, because you guys have no idea.
Yeah,
like, honestly, what we're about to do in the next year to 2 years, we're gonna have 4 or 5 retreats next year, 2 tours, ancient Malta, Greece, Egypt. Like, we're really taking it to a whole new level.
Yes. And I also want you to know that behind Neil, I have my own new website coming out at joanofangels.com, and ultimately will be hooked up with events to Portal to Ascension. But we're doing things like soul mission activations, remembering who you are, why you're here, and really important, learning how to trust your intuition. So I'll be speaking at the conference too. Neil's you're speaking at the conference too, right? The Ascension Conference?
No, I'll be doing some spoken word.
Spoken word. All right. So guys, we've kept you long enough. We're just so excited. We're happy to be back on air together. Please like, subscribe, and share our channels. We haven't been together for a long time. Check out my YouTube as well, at Joan of Angels, and check out the whole tribe. And we'll see you in San Diego.
AscensionConference.com.
All right.
Love you all.
All right. Love you all. Bye.